Good morning, crafty people. My name is Nate, and this is Peach Domino Papercraft. And today we're going to work on a wonderful kit, and I've already cut out some pieces, so saved us a little time there. But we are going to work on the kit Ancient Wonders Egypt, or she might have called it Ancient Egypt just for short, I'm not sure, by the Paper Bee. And like I said, I've cut out some of the pieces already. These are strips that were left over that had some really cool pieces on it that I might use. Some of the ephemera, we've got some tags. Some cards, print the backing on them, fold them over and open them up. A couple of cards. Here's another tag. Again, these are more little bits of leftovers. Some pockets. Here's an envelope. And you can use either side for that. The way I've printed it. I think this is the side that comes on it. And then you print a backing page. And I printed this as for the backing page. Some journal cards. Or leftover pieces that I can turn into journal cards. Not really sure. Set them over here. They're journal cards. They're journal cards now. Here's another pocket. With this, I love this scarab that she's put on here. It's beautiful. And some chariots on a pocket. Here's a tag I made out of some of the pieces. I cut out some pieces from some pages and fussy cut some pieces. Here's another one of the little scarabs, and here's some of these backing pages that I just cut out and put on the back or on the top here, and I mounted it all on here to make it good and sturdy. See? Thick. Here's some leftover pieces from the pages that I cut. Here's some extra pieces of pages and just random little bits left over. And then we have the pages I'm going to use in today's book. Now what I'm making is the start of my Stardew Valley series, and I want to make a little set of encyclopedias, and this one is going to be for the desert range. And it's going to be all the information about the desert, the things that you can find in the desert, what's in the shop, the enemies you're going to face in the cave, that kind of thing. How to get there, all those kinds of things. And here's just some backing pages so that I can use those as I see fit. Okay, and to get started, like I said, I've already cut it, and you can see I need a new cutter blade, but that's going to work out in our favor because I want to distress these. But before I do, we're going to do some inking. And because of that, I have my ink blender, and we're going to start with... Actually, we're going to start with something new. I got some distress ink or distress oxide sprays that I haven't had a chance to play with yet, so we're going to play with those. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to lay something down over your work surface so that it doesn't get all messed up. Now if you'll excuse me, I'll get something, I'll be right back. Okay, now as you'll see, I have chosen a road atlas. Now this serves two purposes. One, it protects my work surface from the inks, the sprays. And two, it's going to let us get some extra junk on the map. And that'll help me later when I decide to use this map. Now you want to make sure that you shake them really well. See how they look when they come? And you want to shake them really well. These ones have a ball bearing inside. And I recommend, if you don't have a ball bearing when you buy it, see how it looks when it's shaken up? that you either purchase ball bearings or steel BBs, and you put one inside every bottle. It helps it, it just helps it shake and mix a little easier. Now I'm going to try this hickory smoke one, and we're going to see what happens, what it looks like. I haven't used these, so it takes a second. We're just going to put a few spritzes on, give it a little dirt. I like that. I like the way that's looking. And as it darkens a little as it dries. Cool, cool. I really like that. I may have to use these more often. Let's try a little hickory smoke. I just said hickory smoke. Let's try walnut stain next. And again, I'm going to shake it really good. And give it a little spritz or two. I really like that. And this is Vintage Photo. Where are you? There you are. The three main. Now, if you don't spray it very hard, it'll dribble, which is good for some things. And then, like, if you spritz it really quick, it'll do something like that. I like that. Gives it a really dirty page looking effect. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to do that to all my pages. And I have several. Let me show you what the pages themselves look like, which I should have done in the beginning, but I didn't. Here's one. This one's really pretty. I love the blues in this kit. I really do. She did a really good job on this kit. Oops, upside down. Again, this is Ancient Egypt or Ancient Wonders Egypt. I'm not sure what it's named. It's one of the two. And I'll link it down below, as well as the whole store and the link tree. And then that way you can go pick it up if you want to. And you can use it and make cool, cool things out of it. Look at these. I just love it. Love the way these look. Dribble a little of that on there. This is just awesome. Why have I not gotten these and played with these before? Why didn't y'all tell me these were so cool? Okay, I'm gonna do all my pages and I'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to go ahead real quick and show you how I'm going to ink these pieces right here, because not only do these two right here have a little blue on them, and this one has more than this one, but they're also kind of gray. So I'm going to take my hickory smoke ink. Sorry, my hands are super inky, and after I finish this I'll go wash them before I head off into the next step, because I don't want to transfer all that. Take my hickory smoke, and I'm just gonna go about the edges to darken this part right here, because when you find an aged tag or whatever, when you find aged anything, it's always darker around the edges, and that's because that gets more sunlight, more handling, more use all together. So it's always going to be darker at the edges. So kind of bear that in mind. And what I also want to do is kind of throw a little in around here, kind of age up some just random bits. Because you never really know. Dirt piles on in places it's not supposed to be all the time. So we're just going to age that. And now with the blue, I want to do the same thing. Age the edge with the hickory smoke. And I chose 3 blues, but I think I'm only going to use 2 of them. I think this one's a little dark. So we're going to age the edge with the hickory smoke. And that's going to be our, I don't want to say darkest color because hickory smoke's not very dark. But we're going to use that there. And then I'm going to take, oh yeah, that doesn't have a Velcro on the bottom. Evergreen bow. Bow. I don't know, somehow an evergreen is blue? I've never had a blue evergreen before. I've always seen them be, I don't know. I'm in a weird part of Texas. Every tree is like brown. So, that's a joke. Sort of. Because of the heat, you know. So we're just going to tilt our brush, not 180 degrees. You don't want it to be flat, okay? But like, let's see if I can show you. So you don't want it to be flat on, but just about like that. Not very tilty, but a little bit tilty, because you want to see a little bit of the color, but you don't want to see a whole lot of the color. Because you still want your dark or your hickory smoke here, but you don't want to just overall color the tag with this. I can see the green in it. I want to see something real quick, y'all. See, it's a little blue, little green. I can see it. Oh, that's why. Because this was the pad for this one. That's why it's blue. So let's see with the pad that's supposed to be on this, what it shows. Oh, that's more green than blue. It's okay, it worked out. It worked out. See? See a little green there, but it's okay. Now I'm going to use my tumbled glass, which is a very lovely color. I do love tumbled glass. And I'm just going to start here towards the edge. See, there's already blue there, so I'm just going to pull it in a little further. Put it a little more around my edges. Just to give it a little bit more, not necessarily depth, but I don't know, a little more color. Let's face it, I'm a blue person. If I can turn it blue, I'm gonna. And then just barely brush it over the top here to give it just a little bit of a color. And there. See how that looks? I mean, it's not perfect or anything, but I like it. See, I did this one with this side with the brown. But I like it. Turned out nice. And I think it'll go nicely with that scarab. Where'd I put that scarab? See, there's green over here in the scarab, so it's not going to be too bad having this green down here in the corner. Yes, I know this tag won't fit in this pocket. But I think that fits in nicely with the theme of the book. So, okay. Now I'm going to go wash my hands and we'll be back and do some more stuff. Okay, so I sprayed all the pages and I just kind of want to let y'all see what it looks like on the backing page after. And also to let you know to be very careful, because when I say put down your page, I mean it. This was sitting off to the side. See, it got a little inked up, and that's okay. So, yes, I know that's still wet. No, I don't care. It'll make it look fun. We're going to get that out of the way. And we're going to work on the next piece. Now, I got a bunch of ink at the bottom of my table, too. Let me clean that up real quick. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret while we're at it, while I'm cleaning this up. You see this background I have right here? This is peel and stick wallpaper from the Dollar Tree. It comes in little sheets. And I love it. It's just vinyl wallpaper. A little bit of water, clean that right up. So it also protects your surface. Alright, we have our tag here. And you can see it kind of got a little spray on it. So let's go ahead and pull the atlas back out and give it a little spray. I guess I better spray whatever got some spray on it, huh? Oh, let's do a different page. I've already done this page. Ta-da! Give it a little dirt. And there's that. Let's see, what else got sprayed? You got sprayed? Doesn't need a lot. Did you get sprayed? You didn't get sprayed. You did. I saw you got sprayed. So we're going to give you some. Let's make sure you pointed in the right direction. Which is why so much of this is getting sprayed now. A little more over here. See, if you don't point it in the right direction, everything gets sprayed. It's all in one spot. Give me a little dirt over here. This has spray on the back. I'm not real worried about the back, so we're going to leave that as is. I believe that's all the spray bits. No, I was wrong. Here's a spray. Here's a spray. I got to learn to be more careful with these. Really, I should practice before I use them on a kit, but what better way to practice than use them on a kit? Make sure it's pointed the right way. One thing I did see, though, is if you hold it up really high and kind of mist it down, it looks really cool. Of course, I have a fan on, so it kind of drifts to the right, which is another reason so many things are getting sprayed. You need to get sprayed, you need to get sprayed, and you get some spray, and you get some spray. 20 bucks if you know that reference. Just kidding. I don't have 20 bucks to give everybody. I don't have 20 bucks to give one person. And y'all are probably all in the same boat, because we are all not feeling it financially this year. I know it. I understand it. Just kind of sprinkle some, and then spray some, and then sprinkle some. Some of them are harder to sprinkle than others. And don't forget the dirt. The oomph. Okay, now that's all been sprayed. I'm going to set it off to the side with the pages. And it's all kind of bowed up. That's okay. Not a big deal. I don't want to spray the other sides of these. And that's okay. You can if you want to. I did on the pages. But you don't have to. It's up to you. It's your book, right? So the rest of this, instead of using the spray, I'm going to use the tried and true, starting with ground espresso, walnut stain, vintage photo, maybe rusty hinge. I got a new rusty hinge. I don't know what it looks like, so we're going to play with it too. And I'm just going to go over these. This one, though, I'm going to use a little tumbled glass, because see, it's got this blue spot right here. So I'm going to use a little tumbled glass to kind of do something with that. Now, take my ink blender, and let's start with ground espresso, because it's the darkest. I like to go from dark to light. Now, that's just my preference. You can do it however you want. But I like to go dark and barely touch the... I don't know why I'm doing that. You're not going to see that. And barely touch the edges, which I should have burnished first so I could get the real edges. Take this. Get in the camera here, line here. And just go down this line. You can use a ruler to do it if you want. If I push my hand against the desk, it helps me get a straight line. And then once I've done that, just come back over it and make sure it's good and tight. Pull it back out so you get a good straight line here. And I use my hand, I move my hand, not my wrist, which also helps me get a good straight line. Just some tips if you need them. If you don't, that's good too. Okay, now we got all our good straight lines. Let's get this top cut out. I'm using a punch. You don't have to. Let's put it in far enough that it'll punch. Okay, let's turn it over so I can see what I'm doing. My punch is a little bigger than this, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, again, fold everything in. Get your boof. It's now called a boof. And we're just gonna burnish the edge, the very edge where that crease is, with our darkest color. The darkest color we're going to use. It doesn't have to be black. I'm not talking about your darkest color you own. Just the darkest color you want to use. Like if you're using browns, use a dark brown. Because you don't want it to stand out too much. You want it to stand out, but you don't want it to be cartoonish. Unless that's the look you're going for, of course. Okay, we got just the very edge. See how much better that looks already? Not that the design doesn't look good, but I'm talking about aging, and you can't get that with the design very well, because you might get your edges messed up. You might not put your edges in the same place I want to put my edges. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now my next darkest is walnut stain, and it hasn't been used before, so we're going to do a little extra brushing, and we're going to go just a little further out on these corners, on these edges. Not a whole bunch, just a little further. It's like painting. You can always put a little more on, but it's really hard to take it off and blend it back in if you get it wrong. So, of course, there is no wrong. It's all subjective. So just go a little bit further out to give it a little more blending edge. Instead of doing it this way, do just a little bit of an angle. Not 90, maybe 50, 60 degree angle or so. I don't know, I'm not good at angles. I'm not good at eyeballing angles. We already did that side. And see, it just feathers it in a little bit more. I'm going to go one more color. My dog is getting out of bed, finally, so you might hear some noise. I'm going to do... this is a good color, but it's a little yellow for me. No, that's a little orange for me, so let's go back to vintage photo. Whew. I'll have to try Rusty Hinge on a paper because it looks very orange. What was this? This was ground espresso. Okay. I try to keep my little daubers on the underside. I've got... Oh, that one's just hanging there. Hang on, let me show you on one that's got it. See, I've got the Velcro hooks side. And then this is just the felt, and it just hangs right on there. I believe it was Miss Christina Charles that told me that. Because I was keeping mine in a book. Now in this one I go flat and just rub it up and down the edge. And it's easier to do on paper, on the table. Because you can go as far in with this one as you want to. Kind of give it a little aura, if that's the word I'm looking for. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So you kind of create a little frame around your image, like I'm doing here, to make your image itself stand out a little more. See? Don't worry about that. That's a tab for the pocket. And it just kind of makes your image stand out a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. I'm going to do these two in the same way. Actually, I'm going to do a lot of these in the same way. And I will be back in just a moment.